Hey guys, this is Dave from the NOTSO Chinese Secret Show, and today we're going to take a look at an accessory for the Ronin-S, the PolarPro monitor arm for the DJI Ronin-S. In my review of the Ronin-S, I had just this jimmied piece of metal that I had lying around that I used to mount my monitor, because I did recommend a piece that made a 1/4" 20 mount, but the PolarPro guys were nice enough to send me this arm that was custom made for the DJI Ronin-S. Now, disclaimer, there was no charge for this, but they also said no strings attached, so I can say what I want. Install was a breeze. It came with the Allen key as well as the screws necessary. You just take off the little nameplate on one side and replace it with their mount. What's unique about their mount is that they've got holes all over, which is kind of like a detente, and so when you actually unscrew the monitor mount, you'll feel that you've got not an infinite range, but they actually kind of have these little nubs that click in place, so you're very sure when you lock it down. Build quality is great. The whole thing is metal. The ends have this really grippy rubber, so if you really want to lock down your monitor, you can really grip it down. So definitely, if you've got a really fast-moving rig that you want to secure your monitor on, this is the one. What's also nice about this monitor arm is that it has 3 other standard camera mounts. So there are female 1/4" 20s that you can add a light, or if you wanted another grip, you could do that as well. When you lock it down with the screws, it's really secure, and those rubber grips do a great job of making sure that it's not going to go anywhere. But just one word of warning, I would never recommend carrying the whole gimbal rig from this monitor arm, because remember, there is only a single 1/4" 20 screw that holds it onto the gimbal itself. And because you can put such massive cameras on here, I would never trust the weight of the gimbal plus the camera plus the lens mount and the motor to just a 1/4" 20 screw. What are some of the cons? The first one is that you've got to mount your monitor upside down to give clearance to the panning arm right here. I know this is nitpicking, but my original L bracket kind of dipped down and then over, which gave it clearance even in the upright position. But to be honest, this is a really minor inconvenience because every monitor that I have, including this really cheap Viltrox, which I'll link in the description, has the ability to flip the screen upside down just for such an occasion. One last little con is pretty minor again, but it's all in the details, right? Now, this is going to be the mounting bracket, and it has all these little holes, and you'll notice that there's 2 little nubs on the arm that correspond to those hole patterns. Well, I find that the nubs are a little bit too long, or the screw is a little bit too short, because you almost need to fully remove the arm for you to adjust the angle of your monitor. Now, why is this a problem? This is a problem because when you're out in the field, wouldn't it be nice if you needed to just change the angle a little bit and not have to risk your whole monitor falling off, right? So I might actually shave down those nubs with a file a bit, but I think those are metal, so it's going to take a little bit of work. But really, the problem would have been solved if they just made those just a little bit shorter, or made the screw just a little bit longer, so that you could, unscrew and not risk having this arm fall off. So my tip is twofold. One, make sure you're carrying the monitor arm when you're adjusting the angle at this monitor arm. And 2, remember never to lift the entire gimbal rig from this monitor arm, because you are really only carrying it from a 1/4" 20 mount. So that's a quick review of the PolarPro monitor arm for the DJI Ronin-S. If you own a Ronin-S and you want to use an external monitor, get this monitor arm. It is great. And I was really surprised at how much utility I found in using it as not a handle, but as a second control for really smooth controlled pans. And so I did love having this monitor arm. Links are in the description as usual. And before I let you go, I do have a thought of the day. Quitting is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. May all your problems be temporary and you find the solution really soon. Like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. God bless, guys.